Hello, I'm Doris Tate, candidate for Arkansas Secretary of State in the Democratic primary on May 18th. I have been Sebastian County Clerk for the past 20 years and feel like the experience that I have in elections running a business office qualifies me for that position very well. Charlie Daniels, the current Secretary of State, is termed out, and this just seems to be a perfect opportunity for me. I have a lot of experience as far as elections go. The Secretary of State is the chief election official for the state of Arkansas, with the 75 county clerks working individually within their own counties with their own responsibilities. And so I have worked with the Secretary of State's office for many, many years as far as elections go, as far as training goes, as far as working with legislation, which is extremely important, as the next Secretary of State coming up with a package every 2 years of election laws that will improve our current election law code. In 2010, of course, we're going through the census. In 2011, shortly after the next Secretary of State takes office, redistricting will happen across the state. This is vitally important, of course, to every resident of the state, counties, schools, cities, and back to your schools, legislative branch, and so forth. I went through the 1990 and the 2000 census in Sebastian County and redistricting on level of Quorum Court, helping with the Fort Smith Public Schools in the city of Fort Smith with their wards. And so that experience will be vital in the redistricting in 2011, working with the governor, the attorney general, and the Secretary of State, who will make the decision on lines and so forth having to do with our state senators, our state representatives, and then of course that will be approved by the legislature. Okay. The Secretary of State runs a business and commercial office, which is extremely important as far as research for attorneys and so forth in researching business names. That is the office where all of your articles of incorporations are filed, your notaries are filed there. So the business office is extremely important to business people. That is also where your LLCs are filed, you pay your franchise tax there, and so that is an office that is extremely important. I feel like with 20 years, as of course I ran in 1990 originally, winning a primary by 37 votes. It was a tough year, similar to this, running in this primary coming up. And I haven't been opposed since that time. I attribute that to being just a public servant who believes that all people are the same. Politics doesn't play a part in what my office has to offer to the public. In other words, I help run elections, early and absentee voting. I issue marriage license. I am the historian for the county. And a lot of people have a lot of questions regarding those particular filings. And when someone comes into the county clerk's office in Sebastian County, they are treated very well. They're treated with a friendly staff, and we just take care of business. Your politics, nor your color, nor anything else about you matters. You're a citizen that needs and to be taken care of. Okay, as Secretary of State, my plan is to go to Little Rock by myself. That's a bit uncommon for a state constitutional officer. I have no plan to take anyone with me. The staff that is there is very competent. Some of those staff members will be gone with Secretary Daniels, who will be our next state auditor. Some positions will be vacated, and I plan on filling those positions with very qualified people that know the business of county government. Hopefully, those are the kind of people that I will be looking for. And so the people who are currently in the Secretary of State's office will have their jobs, and then I will just observe for several months before any decisions would be made on changing staff. Many questions have been asked regarding the redistricting. That is extremely important, as I said before, to the entire state. So I've answered several questions regarding that. Questions have been asked about my plans for the capital, for example. That is something that I am undecided about after May 18th and possibly a runoff, more than likely a runoff. Then that is the time when I will really get concerned about looking into what the direction that I want to go. There is a lot of green going on within state and federal governments now, saving energy and so forth. I hope that will become part of my platform as going green as much as possible at the state capitol. Other questions have come up regarding staff. Staff is going to be there. Many things that we have just discussed. Any changes that will be made will be determined after the primary, when I really give that some serious thought. Whomever wins the primary must go through the general election, and that will be a tough battle also. But at some point or other, you have to get really serious about making some pretty definite decisions on what you would be doing as the next Secretary of State come January of 2011, because you will take office at that time. My campaign trail has been long. I have covered almost the entire state of Arkansas. It has taken a little over a year. It's how long I have actually been traveling, speaking to different groups across the state, going to courthouses, city halls, libraries, wherever I feel like people are gathered that have a great interest in who the next Secretary of State will be and who votes, actually. What I'm trying to do is get the vote out. In order to do that, then I feel like you have to have hands-on. You have to touch, you have to feel, you have to go in and really talk to those people and shake hands and so forth. Or in my opinion, I feel like you aren't deserving. You can't, I don't feel like you can buy an election, you have to earn an election. And that's what I'm trying to do. My direct conversation with a voter, of course, is introducing myself as being a coal miner's daughter from eastern Oklahoma. My years of experience as a county clerk, raising two daughters from the age of 10 and 13 by myself. And last is, I make you no promises. I will just do the job to the best of my ability.